Hello, Pokemon fans out there. It's me again, Dustin Benzel, to bring you another episode of the Pokemon anime discussion. This is part two of the previous discussion. Oh, sorry. Forgot that I had headphones on. My apologies. Now, if you remember the earlier video, I ran out of time, but I was talking about Gudra. As depicted on the spoilers, there was a cake and a script, if you remember correctly. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, okay, so we'll start in with who I think is going to capture the Gumi that eventually is going to evolve, why I think that, and then we'll move on to the future of the Pokemon XY, and I have some interesting speculation to discuss. Um, Now, if you remember correctly, there was a trailer about the upcoming episodes of Pokemon. This had scenes from Halucha versus a shiny Halucha, which comes before the Frogadier versus Barbacle episode, which is supposedly the episode where Froakie evolves. Everything points to it. And there was another, in the beginning of that trailer, there was a Gumi falling on Ash's head. Now, a lot of people might not think that means anything, but if you really think about it closely, you will see that Ash Ketchum is actually the best choice for someone to capture Gumi. And I'll explain why. Now, let's look at the other characters that are likely to capture Gumi. Now, we can eliminate Team Rocket because even though the cake does have Team Rocket and their Pokemon, the beginning of the script does not. Now, I remember hearing something about maybe Team Rocket was on the back of the script, but the thing that's noticeable is the fact that none of Team Rocket's Pokemon are in the front of the script, so that means that we can eliminate Team Rocket with certainty. Plus, who would want Gudra to be blasted in every episode? That'd be kind of a waste of a Pokemon, if you ask me. Now, let's discuss the protagonists. Let's start with Clemont. Clemont already has 4 Pokemon, if I believe. Chespin, Bunnelby, Dedenne, and Luxio, which we all know is going to evolve. Now, there may be some logic to Clemont getting a Gumi, Gudra, because it resists electricity, and some theory out there says that they would give Pokemon to Clemont that would have an advantage over electric types. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that theory is going to make sense anymore because Clemont has already taken care of the gym. He left it in charge of his father. I can't remember his father's name at this moment in time, but and Clemont just got Luxio, so it seems unlikely that they're going to go ahead and give Clemont another Pokemon right now, and we may have to wait a while before Clemont likely gets another Pokemon, especially when we we believe that his Luxio is definitely going to evolve. Now, Serena might be a more viable option than Clemont because she only has 2 Pokemon, but the problem is the fact that Gumi is going to fully evolve quickly. Now, that would make her worse than Iris. Now, I didn't have any problem with Iris getting a Dragonite. The problem I had was that it seemed like it was just given to her just so she can have a powerful Pokemon and having to deal with that sort of thing. Which is kind of strange because a lot of Iris's Pokemon before have had disobedient problems, so another Pokemon that had a disobedient problem wasn't exactly awesome or new or fresh, but like I said, I didn't have any problem with Iris getting a Dragonite, but since she caught it like the episode I believe before the World Tournament Junior Cup, and seeing how it blasted through Georgia and Dawn, and it didn't listen to her. It seemed like it was given to her indiscriminately with no regard to Iris as a character. Dragonite would have, however, been fine if that didn't happen. If they just gave Iris a fully evolved Dragonite, that would have been perfect and fine. Now, the problem with giving it to Serena, on the other hand, is Serena is definitely a beginner trainer, and even though she technically has a goal, she isn't exactly in a good position to be getting a powerhouse right now in the form of a Gudra. Especially if she gets a Gumi and then fully evolves it into Gudra faster than any of Ash's Pokemon fully evolve. I mean, if we look at the cake and the script, the only team change that's going to happen for Ash if Serena gets Gumi is Froakie evolving, which is odd because when you think of Serena, not only would she hypothetically be getting a Gumi, fully evolving it quickly into Gudra, but also her Fennekin is evolving. So we have 3 evolutions, only to Ash's 2 evolutions, and Ash would still be out a fully evolved Pokemon. So, plus Serena's goal isn't exactly contest relevant, and well, I mean, it's kind of like contest, but not quite. So Gudra wouldn't exactly be beneficial to Serena right now. Maybe if this had been in the future, like near the end of the series, kind of like Togekiss and Dragonite end of the series, maybe would have made sense. And if Serena really needs a powerhouse, I'm not really sure throwing Gudra on her makes any remote sense because that would mean her team would technically overpower Ash's. I mean, Frogadier could probably beat Braixen no matter what, especially if it were to fully evolve into Greninja, but with a pseudo legendary like Gudra on Serena's team, it like outclasses anything Ash has. Plus, just wouldn't make sense at this moment in time because, like I said, the only team change for Ash, if we believe that Serena is getting a Gumi, would just be as Froakie evolving, and I can't imagine that. I can't imagine Froakie evolving right now before the hypothetical Gumi capture and not a single team change for Ash. Fletchinder isn't going to fully evolve until after the script episode is for, the cake is for. We're definitely not going to get Greninja anytime soon. Maybe closer to the league or maybe near Olympia. We're not sure. I mean, the best we can guess is that by the time Gudra is on the main cast, we would have to assume that Ash has just battled Ramos and is probably on his way to going back to Lumio City to battle Clemont for the Volt badge. I think it's the Volt badge. I think. Not sure. I'm probably wrong. So yeah, that would be a little awkward, especially since Ash has no defense against Clemont's Pokemon. I mean, he does have Pikachu, which is good, but if Clemont is going to use primarily electric types during his gym battle with Ash, Ash doesn't have a lot of options except the secondary types, Fletchinder's fire type, as well as Halucha's fighting type. Fletchinder probably could take out Magneton, and maybe Halucha can take out Heliolisk, and maybe Pikachu can take on possibly Luxray or Luxio, depending on the circumstances of when that'll happen. But really, it's not a really good choice. And if we think about the battle with Ramos, I mean, we're stuck with basically Pikachu, Fletchinder, and Halucha, which was basically the same team as the second or the third gym with Korrina. And I've expressed how much I don't like the Pikachu focus, and having Pikachu being 5 gyms in a row would be ridiculous. I already know it's guaranteed being Clement because there's no way in hell Pikachu is not going to be used. So I don't want it in 5 gyms because I'm pretty sure Frogadier isn't going to be used against Ramos. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't seem likely. So, yeah, so Serena getting Gumi and evolving to Gudra doesn't make much sense. So that leaves Ash. Now, if we really, really think of the Ash, him getting Gumi makes the most sense of every Pokemon trainer because not only will Ash need a full team by the league, whether you believe he's going to actually catch, hold on, um, if he's going to get a Mega Evolution or not, he's still going to need more Pokemon than either Serena or Clemont. So in that instance, yes, Ash getting Gumi would make the most sense. Not just because it's falling on Ash's head in the trailer, but if we really think about it, Ash is the most person is the best person is the best character of the main cast to utilize Gudra. Now, if this was Iris, if Iris was aboard, maybe we'd have some arguments here because Iris was a Dragon type trainer and Gudra is a Dragon type Pokemon. But for the moment, Ash is the best of the 3 protagonists to utilize Gudra. Now, looking at his team, Gumi would definitely be an improvement to his team already. I mean, I like Hawlucha, Froakie, Frogadier, and Fletchinder just like the rest of it, but his team is pretty lacking, especially since it's primarily weak against electric types. So Gumi makes perfect sense for Ash's team because it really balances out his team and kind of covers up some weaknesses. So it would seem that Gumi, or maybe even Sugu, might indeed be going to battle against Ramos and possibly will get a Gudra and Luxray showdown in Clemont. I don't know exactly when this all is going to take down, but it's at least a possibility. So, but like I said, that's Gumi falling on Ash's head isn't exactly the only reason. I mean, like I said, Ash needs a full team for the Pokemon League. He's the best character of the trio to utilize Gudra, and it is useful for his team because it balances out. Now that's my personal opinion. Maybe it's not going to happen, but I'm betting if Gumi is indeed caught, as the spoilers imply, it's most likely going to belong to Ash because whether you like Gumi, Sugu, or Gudra or not, Ash is the best character to use that Pokemon of the 3 this early. Now, if we were in the latter half of the series, maybe Serena would make sense. But at this moment in time where Gumi is likely going to be caught before Ash battles Ramos, Ash is the one that makes the most sense. And like I said, throwing a powerhouse on Serena when Ash will not have a powerhouse at the same time doesn't make sense. But that's just me. So that's my speculation of Gudra. I think we've talked a little bit too much about it, so let's move on to the future. Now, I'm not really sure if Clemont, outside of evolving Luxray, is going to have much of a future. I mean, um, maybe his Chespin will evolve. I mean, I can see it evolving more than Bunnelby. I think Bunnelby is definitely going to remain unevolved, though. Um, I don't think Clemont is going to get any other Pokemon. It's possible he might get one more, but if he is, he might just take along his Heliolisk from the gym. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm actually curious about that. Well, I think that's fit for Clemont. I don't think Clemont is going to catch any more Pokemon for Bonnie, and Bonnie's only be stuck with Dedenne because, well, a trainer can only have 6 Pokemon, and Clement is already holding one for Bonnie anyway. So, yeah, that's for Clement. Serena, I see her getting 2 more Pokemon. Now, let me just check real quick. I'm not sure what they plan on giving her. I'm thinking maybe they'll give her a past gen Pokemon, kind of like they gave Clement with Luxio. Um, I don't know if she's going to capture any other 6th generation Pokemon. I mean, I can understand why they gave Clement Luxio, since Clement already technically has all of the 6th gen electric Pokemon types, and if that's probably why they gave him Luxio. But looking at the Pokemon, I'm not really sure what Serena can get at this particular point of the 6th generation Pokemon. My best bet is probably a Skiddo, and I'll explain why. And I'm going to explain why, and that's because of the upcoming episode with Serena and Skiddo, which is why I don't think it's no longer a viable option for Ash, and I'll get to that in a moment. If not Skiddo, there's always Esper. There's also Swirlix, or maybe even Spritzy. Let's see. Maybe Carbink, and maybe Noibat. Who knows? Maybe even Bergmite's an option for Serena, but I'm thinking they may as well just give her a past generation Pokemon. There has been some speculation of possibly a Trico in her future, as it's one of the only Hoenn starter Pokemon that have been getting any sort of XY anime merchandise that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. So that's entirely possible. Um, but other than that, I'm not really sure. I wouldn't necessarily want her with Trico. I think Mudkip would be more interesting. But that's just me, maybe because I didn't think Mudkip got a lot of screen time, even though it's not one of my favorite Pokemon. But I just can't imagine why they'd give her Trico. I mean, come on, we all know Ash's was his like pride and joy of the Hoenn series. So having Serena having Trico would be a little awkward, but so I'm thinking at best Serena might get one more 6th generation Pokemon and possibly one past generation Pokemon, rounding her team to like 4 Pokemon. That seems reasonable. If if Serena's goals change and they start including contests after Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire released, then maybe she can get 5. But right now, I'm not really sure on that because Serena really doesn't do that much. Um, but but I guess it's not enough of a reason. I suppose a character could not do much and have a whole bunch of Pokemon. I guess it's possible. So that's about it. As for Ash, if he does end up getting Goomy and fully evolving it into Goodra, which actually makes sense because a lot of people are wondering if it's too fast of an evolution, but we've seen worse situations of that happening. And the thing is, the anime is different from the games. I understand that a lot of people try to have the games as their holy grail, um, but um, but as I'm saying, it makes sense. Gumi could be close to evolving already, get some get some screen time or whatever, and then evolve into Slugoo. And since I learned recently, I wasn't really thinking about it, but Slugoo is actually blind and apparently can only see through its antennae on its head. And I'm thinking, well, if Gumi does evolve quickly, or at least at the very end of the span of Gumi evolving fully into Gudra, I can see why Slugoo is not going to be around for very long. I mean, it is a Slugoo, and I would like to see Slugoo. I think Slugoo is a pretty cool Pokemon. I think it's a nice balance between Gumi and Gudra. Gumi is kind of adorable, kind of weird though. It's kind of a blob, and Gudra is a adorable, huggable dragon type. But Slugoo has its own quirks and everything like that. So it'll be a little disappointing to see Slugoo for only a short time. But since it does evolve simply by raining, and we have had raining episodes before, it's very likely that so the goo isn't going to last very long, and have it make sense. Now, maybe a lot of you out there are saying, well, Ash shouldn't have a powerful Pokemon this soon, but a lot of people aren't exactly entirely impressed with Goodra. Goodra does have a 600 base stat total, just like all the other pseudo legendaries out there, but at the same time, it's not that powerful. It has a decent special attack, if I'm not mistaken, but its speed is really low, so I don't really see it as a problem. I'm pretty sure it's going to have its trouble, especially against the following gyms after Clemont, because we still have Valerie, and fairy type Pokemon are immune to dragon types, so Gooder is going to be out of luck there. Olympia is going to be a psychic trainer, and psychic Pokemon are usually powerful. And then following that is Wolfric with ice types. So even if Ash does have a powerful Pokemon in Goodra, it's still not going to do the best in the last three gyms. It'll probably be a decent Pokemon against Clemont. I'm not sure what Ash will have at that time during the gym battle, but like I said, even if it is a powerful Pokemon, I don't think it's that powerful. Oh man, 21 minutes. I think this one's going to be a little bit longer. I think I'm going to go for like 40 minutes on this one, because I'm talking too much about Gudra and everything like that. So let's maybe if I could hurry up a little bit. So if Gumi is going to be caught by Ash, that would be his fifth choice. That means Ash would have one more Pokemon. I'm not entirely sure I buy the Mega Evolution. If Ash is destined to get a Mega Evolution, Ash is still going to catch 5, 6 generation Pokemon, so that still leaves one more. Of the options, I'm going to say right now, as quickly as I can, any Pokemon that has already appeared, due to it being Ash, and Ash is not Serena or Clemont, so Clemont or Serena catching a Pancham has no movement in me in deciding past Pokemon that have already appeared, but I do not believe Ash is going to catch a Pokemon that has already appeared. Now, one of the options was Skiddo, because Ash does not currently have a grass type Pokemon, but I'm going to have to eliminate that as a possibility because Serena will be having Skiddo racing and might interact with Skiddo, and maybe Skiddo will be one of Serena's Pokemon in the future, so we may have to eliminate Skiddo. Skiddo's cute, but not really a great Pokemon for Ash. So that eliminates Skiddo. Looking at, like I said in the other video, there is hardly any Pokemon here. The only other Pokemon that Ash could get that hasn't shown up yet, Litleo, I'm going to eliminate that simply because with Fletchinder, along with Hawlucha, Ash could not afford any other double up on types, and Litleo is as bland as it can get, especially when you have Fletchinder. I mean, it's already bad enough that Ash has Hawlucha and Fletchinder, but Leo is going to make things definitely worse. Fletchinder is already a fire type. We don't need another fire type. Let's see. Honedge might be a possibility, but the only Pokemon of that I really like is Aegislash, and I can't imagine Ash having a fully evolved team, especially if he's going to get Gooder soon. Swirlix and Spritzy have already appeared, so I don't think they're much of an option. Skrelp technically hasn't appeared. There's an episode coming up next Thursday revolving around Skrelp. It was an episode that was to air long time ago, but because of some Korean ship sinking, it was postponed. Skrelp is a water-based Pokemon, so I doubt Ash is going to get Skrelp, especially if he gets Gumi, because the only purpose Skrelp would serve if it was to evolve into, I think it's pronounced Dralgy, because I think it's or Dragalgy. There you go. Because I think it's a combination of algae and dragon, so it's like Dragalgy. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. Clauncher has already appeared, and I don't like double types, as like I said. Going forward, the next Pokemon that hasn't appeared yet in the main TV series is Carbink, but I don't think that's much of a possibility because its connections to the legendary Pokemon Diancie, Diancie being some natural evolution of Carbink, not necessarily a Pokemon evolution, but one of the natural evolutions, like Pokemon or like monkeys or primates evolving into humans, kind of sort of thing. So I don't think anyone is going to capture a Carbink. I could be wrong. The next option is Klefki. I'm not really sure on that one. I don't see as much of a possibility. Um, and I think Klefki makes more sense to give James. I mean, I wouldn't mind Ash with the Klefki, but that would give Ash two standalone, non-evolving Pokemon. And I can't imagine that because I think one of Ash's Pokemon needs to remain unevolved. And since Hawlucha is neither a Pokemon that can evolve or it's a standalone, so I don't think they're going to give him another standalone, which is probably another reason why he won't get Carbink. So I'm going to eliminate Klefki. I'll get to Phantump in a minute because you'll know why in a moment. Bergmite is another possibility, but I'm not really sure I like Bergmite. Bergmite is an okay Pokemon. I don't really care for Avalugg, even if it is as big as Torterra, or around the size of Torterra. Bergmite's pretty cute, but it's a pretty big Pokemon if they keep it scaled. Bergmite is about 3 feet. That's like 3 times as big as Pikachu. It's still a possibility. It just wouldn't make any sense, in my opinion. Still a possibility. I just don't think they'd want to waste their Pokemon like that. Noibat, like we already have Hawlucha and Fletchinder, and if Ash catches Gumi, Noibat has to automatically already be off the list. I mean, at this point, I would think Leo would make more sense than Noibat. But whatever. Okay, so let me go to Fanta. Now, if you know D-Man Dustin from Pokemon forums, Cerebi forums in particular, you will know that I love Phantup. Phantup is my favorite ghost type Pokemon of all time. It is like the cutest, most adorable Pokemon that I've ever seen. But that's just my opinion. And the reason I want Ash with the Phantump is because it's a unique grass type. Sure, there's Pumpkaboo, but Jesse has a Pumpkaboo, so that doesn't really matter. But Phantump is like so unique. It, uh, it's a ghost grass Pokemon. Ash has never technically had an official grass or ghost Pokemon, so that would give Ash a Pokemon type that he's never had before. Yeah, I know there's Honedge. Ash has never had a steel type before, but I'm not sure I like the intimate or the inanimate object Pokemon style for Ash. I mean, the closest we got was Boldore, technically, maybe Galele. So I'm not really sure on that, though. Um, it's possible. I just don't know if it makes any sense because compared to Phantup, I would believe Honedge would be extremely hard to animate. Yeah, I know Roggenrola and Boldore. I know. But Honedge just seems like a weird Pokemon, especially if it's going to remain unevolved. And like I said, I prefer Aegislash than either Honedge or even Doublade. So I'm hoping that it's Phantup because Phantup technically is the only Pokemon that I would mind unevolved. I mean, Pikachu makes sense why it's never going to evolve, but Phantup to me, because of what it is, what it represents to me, how cute it is, how I find it cute, is why I think it should be on Ash's team. Um, we're already at the 30-minute mark. Holy crap. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I think Phantup is cute. I think it's a great option. It's a cute grass ghost Pokemon. It's a type Ash has never had before. It can remain unevolved because it requires a trait evolution, and uh, I don't want Jesse and Ash to have even the closest possibility of training. I mean, Trevenant is pretty badass. I do like Trevenant. But Phantom, it's the only Pokemon that I like to remain unevolved. Now, in the games, I would always evolve Phantom, but Phantom is like one of the only few unevolved Pokemon that I like so much that I prefer it unevolved. I mean, when it comes to like Ash Ketchum or any character, my fan fiction, or even myself, or even in the games, Pokemon would always have to be evolved. Just because they're like the strongest of the Pokemon line. Now, I can understand there may be a reason why Pokemon don't need to evolve. I just prefer evolution. But in the only instance of Phantom, I'm perfectly fine willing to let Phantom be. Okay. So that's it for Ash's team speculation. I think I've already addressed this in the other video, but I'm pretty sure Team Rocket is not going to get any other Pokemon at this point. Wouldn't really make any sense. Like I said, there are limited options. I mean, I suppose they can give James a Klefki, and maybe if Jessie needs another Kalos Pokemon, maybe she can get a looking here. Maybe she can get a Spritzy. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of options for Team Rocket, which, as I said, is disappointing. I'm disappointed in Game Freak for introducing the lowest amount of Pokemon and no new Dragon type moves. What is up with that? I mean, Dragon type moves, there's just not enough anyway as there are. So, I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry that this was just solely about the Pokemon teams and a little bit of the gyms, but in the next video, I plan to discuss the actual future of Pokemon anime. I will be talking about gyms and gym matchups. I'm going to exclude a potential sixth Pokemon from Ash's team until we get some better evidence. I will revise, of course, if new information comes out. Um, I'm going to give you a hint right now. Ramos, if Ash is getting Gumi, like I think the gym battle with Ramos is probably going to be Gumi, Fletchinder, and Halucha. Now, Halucha or Fletchinder, no, I don't think Fletchinder is going to take a break. Halucha might take a break, and Frogadier might be a possibility because I'm seeing how difficult it is to give Froakie and Frogadier and potentially Greninja some battles. So, but I'm not really sure if possibly Clement and Ash is going to be a 4-on-4, then maybe Frogadier can join in. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking Frogadier might be used against Ramos, but I'm not really sure. I guess we'll find out later. I hope Pikachu isn't used. And if Gumi isn't going to be used until Clement, then um, at the very least, I want Frogadier to be in that battle. So it's a little different than the battle against Karina, and since Ramos actually has a jump bluff, which is part flying, there may be some reason to believe that Pikachu might be used, but considering grass Pokemon are resistant to electric types, hopefully they won't go that route. I don't know if Ramos is actually going to have a jump bluff. They just gave Karina her Pokemon excluding Halucha, and I guess that was because they were giving Ash Halucha, but whoa. Well, anyway, that was just a preview of what I'm going to discuss. Um, I will probably also talk about any major appearances from other people from past generations. Like I expect an Iris return, but yeah, that's about it for this particular episode discussion. Thank you for joining me. If you have any thoughts of what you think is going to happen in the XY series, you're more than welcome to leave your comments in the comment section, and maybe I will address them in future videos. Um, Hopefully, there will be more titles revealed by the time I record another video of Pokemon anime discussion. Probably not. Depends on what happens within a week. But yeah, like I said, in the next video I will be discussing more about the future of Pokemon X and Y anime, more about the gyms, what's likely going to happen. Maybe I can get into some of the discussion of the league. And who knows, maybe I can go over some other Pokemon things as well. So that wraps it up for another episode of my discussion of Pokemon animes. I'm Dustin, and thank you for watching.